everyone, greetings from In Uni UK. Thank you so much for joining our webinar today. My name is Daniella and I'm the Director of Recruitment within In Uni UK and Europe Division, overseeing international students recruitment for a number of our partner universities. Today, I'm extremely excited to talk about our premium partner university, beautiful Canterbury Christ Church University in the Garden of England in Kent. And you can see a Canterbury Cathedral. I hope you can see it in my background. That's where students' graduations take place. Today, we will be talking specifically about accommodation at CCCU and highlighting various options available at the university. And I'm excited to be joined by colleagues from the university. So we have Daniella Mansfield, Assistant Head of Accommodation. Thank you so much for joining us, Daniella. And we have Richard Venner, who is International Business Development Manager at CCCU. I also have my colleague from In Uni marketing team in the background helping us to run this webinar smoothly. Just a few housekeeping rules before we start. You're all on mute. If you'd like to ask any questions whatsoever, please feel free to pop them into the Q&A section. So that's Q&A section rather than chat section. And we will take them from there at the very end of the webinar. So I really hope you can stay with us till the end. Other than that, sit back and enjoy. And we hope you find this webinar useful, because it's now coming to the time when students do need to make their accommodation arrangements. I guess before we start presenting, just a quick reminder to everyone, we are still accepting students' applications for CCCU for September 2025 intake for various programs. If you were to apply for nursing programs, please ensure you submit your applications at the soonest, because those spaces are filling up really quickly and those need to be submitted via UCAS. Other than that, applications can be submitted via GAS Gateway. And again, you will need to submit them at the soonest. If you've already submitted your students' applications and received your initial conditional offer letter, please arrange missing documents, book consultation with the team on the ground. The team is also happy to support with any consultation preparations if needed. And if you've already completed those steps and you received unconditional offer letter, let's please ensure you don't wait and book your pre-CAS interview with the university at the soonest. If you've done that, you've passed that, you would need to proceed with deposit payment just to ensure that it's allocated as quickly as possible, and you can request CAS. The university is already issuing CASs, and I can see visas are being issued as well by the Home Office very quickly within a few days, which is great. But the sooner you apply for your visa, the better. So once your CAS is issued, please do not delay your visa application, because it's summer now, so Home Office may get a little bit busier. Also, just to highlight that UKVI may decide to interview some of the applicants, so it's really important that you are prepared for your potential UKVI interview. So not just the university interview, but also the UKVI interview. It's really important, because in some regions, they may decide to interview applicants. Another thing to highlight, personal statements. It's again very crucial for students to submit unique personal statements, and let's please not use AI. As much as we all like AI, unfortunately, those personal statements wouldn't be accepted. It needs to be written by students themselves, and it needs to be unique to them. No plagiarism, no AI. The quality is being checked thoroughly now and picked up by admissions at your application stage. Okay, I guess I'll stop talking for now and I'll let Daniella to present on wonderful accommodation options at CCCU. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Right, so welcome to Canterbury Christ Church Accommodation. If we can move on to the second slide that we've got, so I can start to review some of the accommodation types that we've got with you. And then if we can move on to the third slide, where I can talk a little bit about the heritage of Canterbury Christ Church and all what's wonderful about coming to Canterbury and choosing Canterbury here to study. So obviously it's a World Heritage Site. We've got the cathedral, we've got St Augustine's Abbey, so there's lots of history here within Canterbury. We've got Sir Thomas Becket, the Chaucer's Canterbury Towers, Archbishop of Canterbury, head of the Anglican Church, all of which is great to obviously come to visit and have any friends or family that you wish to obviously come when you're visiting. We've got some wonderful restaurants. And relatively geographically, we're quite small. There's a population of about 55,000, and it's one of obviously the safest universities in the city of the UK. We've got very busy and vibrant city and a nice nightlife here. There's 3 universities, which make it a very vibrant and diverse city and community really to be part of here in Canterbury. If we can move on now to the 4th slide. So our residencies here at Canterbury, all of our accommodations are centrally located and in a city location. So we've got Petrus Court, we've got Lanfranc as an accommodation, Pin Hill, St George's, Dover Street, Vernon Place, Colton House, and also some university houses and Holmes Court. So we've got a variety of accommodations that are all centrally located, as you can see here from the map here of the city, which is all around campus and are generally all within walking distance. So it's very easy and very commutable to your accommodation. If we could move on to the next slide. So what's included within your accommodation? So you've got obviously your Wi-Fi, all your utility bills. We have 24-hour security support. You have contents insurance, and you've got automatic access to our Res Life programme. So there's no hidden bills that are on top that you need to pay or any additional utilities. It's all basically inclusive of your rent with very fast internet, which is obviously free and inclusive. Those prices are frozen at the moment. Our washing and drying facilities within the accommodation are very, very good. So it's £2.40 just for a wash, which is inclusive of dry. We are governed by the University Code of Practice, which sets out all of our issues around compliance. So it's very clear from the outset what to expect from us. Any of you that will be living in CCU accommodation for your first years can try out our placement students, which are grouped together. For those that have got lifestyle patterns, work or life, we do try our best to group as we can groups together that have similar interests. We obviously have our guarantee offer for our first years who have a firm acceptance, and you need to apply by the 31st of July. All our licence terms at the moment are 31 weeks, and you can then apply for a summer extension if some of your courses are to go on a little bit longer. If we could move on to the next slide, please. So this is a great app that we have here at the university, which basically enables you to feel safe when you're here on campus and within your accommodation. It's classed as the Safe Zone app, which every student is entitled to sign up to. And this is managed by the university. All of our accommodation, as I mentioned before, does have 24-hour security, either on site or a short walk away, which is based on campus. So this directly keeps you in contact with our security team. And this is a free app that you can download. We obviously have our accommodation team, which are always here to help and answer you of any queries or questions. And the team are always readily available to help with any faults or issues that you may be having during your stay within accommodation. We do also have first aiders that are on site 24/7. So they're always here to be able to help and support any students that need obviously support at that time. If we could move on to slide 7. So this is basically staying safe within the city. So during your first few weeks of term, we do run a free minibus service, which can loop around the city centre and enable students within accommodation just to say safe throughout the night. There are street marshals that will keep an eye out for you. So it's great access for student support and well-being, and just feeling part of the university and community when you first arrive. If we can move on to the next one. So car parking within the accommodation, we do have limited availability for car parking, but CCU is committed to sustainable, obviously, transport. There is limited parking on campus and within the city centre. Most sites don't have car parking. We do have disabled bays, so you can apply for a permit and been able to basically park within any of our campus locations, but there is plenty of bike storage. 2 of our locations do have car parking facilities. They are limited, but you can apply with your application, and it does come on a first come first served basis. But the best thing to do would be to have subsidised travel, which you can arrange via Stagecoach if you need to. But with regards to accommodation, generally everything is within walkable distance for you. So at Canterbury Christ Church, we've got our Res Life ambassadors and our Res Life programme, which is very exciting for us, which we have developed and we're encouraging this year. You'll have a Res Life ambassador, which will be placed at each individual site. They are responsible for arranging events for you, which you'll have a couple within the month. These can be day activities, evening activities, and we heavily promote everybody being part of a community here at CCU, and creating fun activities and workshops that are run in the residences and also around campus. So this is a great opportunity for everyone to make friends for life, and really enjoy the activities that we're offering. Moving from home, obviously, for the first time, it can be one of the biggest things that you do, obviously, moving out and coming to a university, but you don't need to worry. You're not on your own here. So living within our university means that you are, especially if you're a first year student, having that experience of making new friends, and being, having inclusion here at CCU. This is just generally our Res Life experience and the framework here that we're offering. The university are committed to supporting students who are staying in our residence, and to be able to really access a very wide range of services and experts to be able to support them when you first obviously come to university and you're first moving away from home. So these are the areas that we like to concentrate on, which is basically home health, community building, your physical health within accommodation, careers and skills, self-care and development, making sure that your financial well-being and you're managing that proactively, and obviously that we're just supporting you as a student throughout your journey here. This is one of our more funny slides here that we're wanting to offer. This is something that we do just as really, again, is just highlighting some of the events that are involved. This is obviously around the Christmas period as a Decorate Your Door competition, again, so that we do offer prizes and competitions throughout the year, which are involved in the events, which everyone can participate in. As I said, there's real prizes, and it really does form a part of inclusion here in the community within CCU. So I want to now go through the actual accommodations here that we have at Canterbury Christ Church. This is Petrus Court. This is a development that is a beautiful modern development. We have 418 ensuite rooms, all small double beds, again 24-hour security on site and laundry, good access to bin stores. It's 5 minutes from the high street, 10 minutes to major kind of supermarkets, just 10 minutes down the road from all the teaching campuses, and it's 30 seconds just down the road to your local library and support services. This is £176 per week. So our next accommodation This is at Dover Street. This is basically at small doubles. These are houses that we offer here, so normally about 3 people. Some of them do have en suites, but some of them are shared bathroom and kitchen facilities. 24-hour security, again on-site laundry there within the houses. This is £156 per week. It's only a few minutes down the road to the high street, a couple of minutes to the main kind of Tesco's. Again, all kind of 7 minutes walk to campus and about 4 minutes just to the local library and support services. So again, very easily accessible just with regards to walking to most amenities that are local for you. The next accommodation that we have here is St George's. Again, this is very centrally located within the city centre. This has 200 ensuite bedrooms, all again small doubles, 24-hour security on site laundry, bin stores. This is £171 per week, 5 minutes just from the library and local support services, 7 minutes just to campus, and again, three minutes to a few minutes to local kind of high street or general supermarkets. The next accommodation here is it's a smaller accommodation. Generally, we tend to look at kind of postgraduates for this accommodation, just because it tends to suit, because it's in a slightly quieter location. It's got 26 bedrooms. It's a mix, really. There's a couple of singles there, but mostly they're all small doubles. Secure access, 5 minutes from, again, local amenities, 7 minutes from campus, and a few minutes, again, just from the high street and local kind of supermarkets. We do have a value option there. So again, this is an option that may suit because it's £124 a week. Our next accommodation site is at Pin Hill. Again, this is very centrally located, 156 bedrooms, 40 of those are en suite. So it is a mixture of shared accommodation. Most of the accommodation can be between a 2 and 3 bedroom flat, 24-hour security, again, on-site laundry, a couple of minutes again to the high street, 5 minutes just to your local supermarkets. This is 15 minutes from the campus, but again, with regards to the general weekly pay that you'll be looking at is £128 a week, but it is very centrally located, just 2 minutes away from the local library and your support services. Our next location is Lanfranc House. This is a very picturesque accommodation. It's got some lovely grounds here, again, right in the heart of the city. It's got 212 ensuite bedrooms, mostly double beds. There is a couple of single beds, but they are mostly doubles within this accommodation site. 24-hour security, on-site laundry rooms. This is just 1 minute to the main high street in Canterbury, 3 minutes to a local Sainsbury's, just 2 minutes to campus here, and this is a 10-minute walk to the support services and the library. So university houses, this is an option if you've already perhaps found a group or like the thought of actually living all together in more of a house than a flat or a purpose-built student accommodation. We have 44 bedrooms available throughout our houses, and most of them are a mixture of basically 4 bedrooms available within the houses. So it gives you very much a community feel. There is a value option as well that you can have. This is £124 a week. The houses are just off of the main campus, so you've got a 2-minute walk and a 5-minute walk to your local supermarket, 15-minute walk to the library and any support services, and it's just 15 minutes to the main high street. Our next option is Holmes Court. This again is a smaller property of 20 bedrooms. This is a mixture of smaller doubles and single rooms in this accommodation. Again, it gives you very much a community-based feel because it is a smaller development. It is only 5 minutes from the high street, 5 minutes to your local supermarket, a couple of minutes to the teaching campus, and 15 minutes to the support services and your local library. Here the option is £124 per week. Our last accommodation site that we're coming to is based at Colton House. Again, this is a very smaller complex here that we offer. So this is 10 bedrooms. We've got 4-foot beds within this property and a couple of singles. Most of them are en suites. We do have a couple of studios here within the premises. We've got 4. So if you are looking to just have your own space and obviously a self-contained flat, this is the ideal opportunity to be able to have a studio. This is probably slightly out of town, so we've got a 15-minute walk to the high street, 5 minutes though to all your local amenities with regards to supermarkets, 15 minutes to the teaching campus, and 25 minutes to the library. However, with this accommodation, just outside there is a bus route, and they do come every 8 minutes, which goes down into the main city centre. So you do have very easy access to the city centre and campus, and obviously the library. Within our accommodation, we do have adapted rooms. So they are located in 2 of our accommodations and also one within our university houses. So they do offer the opportunity to have automatic bedroom, bathroom and doors, increased floor space should you be a wheelchair user, adjustable height desks in the bedrooms and adjustable height counter worktops within the kitchen, larger kind of wet rooms within the traditional bathrooms, assisted handrails in the bathrooms. As you can see here from the pictures, there's a couple of good examples with hoists available in those rooms for you. Should you need an adaptable room, it is something on your application obviously to mention so that we can allocate you to the correct rooms within the accommodation, because not all accommodations do have the adapted rooms. A wonderful added benefit, you do get free gym access for the first semester here. So we've got great sports facilities here. So it is a brand new gym. It's open 7 days a week. You don't need to have any contract at all. The equipment in the gym is brand new. So you do have access also to all of the fitness classes there that are available. And it does, I really would recommend it. It really does help build in a community, build in some friendships as well within your group, and is free for the first 3 months. So it's definitely worth, as soon as you come to accommodation, making sure that you do sign up for that access. So our catering facilities on campus, we've got a wide range of facilities where you can eat and drink. We've got our Touchdown Cafe, which is the largest coffee shop on campus and serves fresh barista coffee alongside a wide range of pastries, cakes and sandwiches and salads. We've got our food court, which is the largest outlet, featuring 4 of our main bars, including Heat and Spice, Meet the Street, Express Bar and the Salad Bar there. We've got also St Augustine's House, Atrium and Coffee Pod. This is at the heart of the library building, so this is a great outlet which serves hot and cold food and drinks and breakfast at lunchtime, or you can just grab and go and grab something quite nice and easily there. We've got our Verena Homes Coffee Dock. Again, this is an outlet centred around health, with a wide range of vegetarian and vegan options, which is perfect if you are just looking for something light or a hearty lunch. Then we've got our Streetery, which is our food wagon, which is wonderful. It's delicious, has fresh dishes daily, straight off the grill. So you can find daily specials with a smash burger and loaded fries if you wish. And then we've got our main lounge and kitchen. So this is your student bar of CCU. So this is where we can hold events. Events are being held daily there. The lounge is really a great safe space for you of a night time in Canterbury, and is a stone's throw away there from the city centre. This is something that the university has developed, which is the Helping Hand menu. So this is really just giving you the option, which has been designed to support students at the moment with the cost of living crisis. And basically our head chef here has been able to create a range of really delicious dishes for all under £3 for you. So this is a great option to be able to help with the cost of living and be able to provide you cheap, nutritious meals here at the university. This is just really involved in becoming on the UPay app here, you're able to collect and redeem loyalty awards on your hot food and drinks and breakfast. This is completely free, so you get back cash incentives when you upload any money onto your account. You can then get free food, obviously, by being a loyalty member. Join the coffee club and you can pre-order and pre-purchase your hot drinks, which does give you unlimited savings. And obviously, friends and family can also send money direct to that account using the direct link, giving them peace of mind with security and convenience there for you. So this is a great app, again, to sign up for as soon as you arrive at the university. So your application process here. So just going through that, our application portal opens up in the springtime. If you apply online, then via the application portal, via accommodation, you can choose your preferred accommodation from one of the lists that I've gone through there with you. Consider your room types and look at your budget carefully to make sure it's affordable for you. All the allocations that we then allocate are in date order of the application. So we will look at obviously your preferences and, depending on availability, try to obviously give you your first choice that is available. So as soon as you have your unconditional firm, then obviously we need the confirmed offer from you. Our accommodation guarantee is for our first year undergraduates and foundation students. You are then guaranteed accommodation with us. So once you've got a firm offer, make sure that, again, the offer is in by the 31st of July, and then we can ensure that you are confirmed and you've got your accommodation guarantee. Students with specific medical requirements are also guaranteed accommodation. So the range of support at Canterbury Christ Church here, we've got our student support and wellbeing advisors. They are trained professionals and can give you impartial advice and guidance here on financial matters, anything to do with your academic and your professional development here. We've got our disability team, the mental health team, dyslexia, counselling and the chaplaincy here. So lots of avenues to be able to ensure that you've got a full wide range of support here at the university. And then our last section really is just with regards to questions. So if you've got any questions with regards to the accommodation, then please come through and I'll be happy to answer them for you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Daniela. Really, really useful information. Thank you for sharing. All right, let's look into questions. I think the first question would be for you, maybe Richard, to highlight why should students choose Canterbury Christ Church University? What are the key reasons for selecting this institution?
Oh, thanks, Dagina. What a great question, and thanks, Daniela, as well for the presentation. I can give you three sort of key words, I suppose: accessibility, affordability, and employability. So Daniela spoke a lot about the location. Canterbury is a wonderful location to live and study. It's a historic city, but with very, very modern facilities and our very, very modern campus. Affordability, as Daniela highlighted, you know, the cost of living in Canterbury is so much lower than in many other places, especially, for example, London, which, by the way, is only 55 minutes away on the train. So, you know, if you want to visit London in under an hour, you can do. But living in Canterbury, especially as a student, really is very, very affordable. And finally, employability. So Canterbury Christ Church were extremely strong when it comes to helping our graduates find a job. In fact, in 2023, we were ranked #1 in the UK for graduates in work, something we're very, very proud of. So yeah, I guess those are my three key words: accessibility, affordability, and employability.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Richard. And if you could maybe highlight some USPs about the Kent region, Canterbury area. I know it was mentioned it's the safest city in the UK, which is amazing. I think it gives a peace of mind to students' parents and to students themselves. We, of course, encourage students to book on-campus accommodation, so it's more convenient. It's lovely to walk around, so you can actually spend a little bit more time either in bed or maybe just to have a walk in the morning before your classes. And like you said, it's affordable. But is there anything else you would like to add maybe about Kent as a whole?
Yeah, definitely. So I was born in Canterbury, so I guess I'm a bit biased, but Canterbury in Kent is a beautiful area. As you mentioned, Dagina, at the beginning of the webinar, Kent is known as the Garden of England because it's so green. So lots of countryside, ideal for long walks, and stunning coastline as well. From Canterbury, it takes 20 minutes to the beach, where we have very, very popular seaside towns like Whitstable and Herne Bay. And of course, in the summer, you can go for a swim, go for a walk along the beach. Yeah, I've lived in many different countries all around the world, and I decided to come back to Canterbury to settle and live. So, I really do love Canterbury, and I really love Kent as well.
Fantastic. And I know some of our students actually completed their studies at CCCU and then decided to stay in Canterbury, secured full-time jobs. As a reminder to everyone in the UK, you can still work part-time, 20 hours during your studies, whether it's bachelor's or master's degree, and full-time during holidays. But also you can still apply for graduate route visa for 2 years after successful graduation. And like Richard mentioned, it's not far from London, in case if you have relatives or friends in London and you would like to actually stay in London, but then commute to Canterbury a few days a week for classes. That is doable, but you just need to take into account obviously the time. So it takes, like Richard said, around an hour, and also the cost, the train cost. But if you don't have friends or relatives in London, it's much more affordable and convenient and safe to actually stay on campus accommodation and to stay in Canterbury. And because it's quite touristic, right? So one of the oldest cathedrals of that, so it brings a lot of tourism to the city. There are part-time jobs available in Canterbury city itself. So there are shops, cafes, restaurants, and like Richard said, there are coastlines as well, various coastlines, so students might be able to find jobs at some hotels. So yeah, lots of different options for international students, I guess. Amazing.
The part-time job thing, Dagina, that you mentioned is really important as well. Yeah, thanks so much for mentioning that about Canterbury, because as you said, tourism, especially in the summer, is huge. So it really is very easy to get a part-time job and just, supplement your income and finances. I guess as well, Daniela, we could mention the that incentive, the £250 incentive for
Oh yeah.
students. So when students pay up front for their accommodation, we will give you £250. We'll add it to your student card or your UPay card, as Daniela highlighted. So that £250 that you can spend on campus in our many restaurants and cafes, that's going to go a long way to help you. I mean, Daniela, you showed that, was it like the saver menu you showed with the cheaper
£3.
options?
Yeah, you can get a full breakfast for £3. So and some really nutritious, amazing food there for just under £3. So it's fantastic.
I mean, I did a little bit of on my calculator. I cheated, but I worked out, with £250, you can get 166 cups of soup, for example.
Wow, amazing. That's a lot of soap.
It's a lot of soup, but it will go a long way to help you. So I think that's another great incentive for students. Pay up front for your accommodation if you can, and you get that £250 bonus.
Fabulous. Thank you so much. Excellent. Since we're still open for September 2025 applications, and we have some of our partners from various countries present here, are there any specific courses, perhaps, Richard, you would like to highlight? Maybe some courses that stand out at CCCU as opposed to other universities? Why should students consider applying for those programs at the university? I know some of the programs like data intelligence or cybersecurity master's degrees actually include embedded work placement. It's optional, but I think it adds a lot of value to students and they are able to gain experience during studies. It also extends the duration of the programs. Instead of 1 year traditional master's degree, they can go for 18 months. So obviously they apply for longer visa, they gain experience, they benefit from career services support. And we had a fantastic webinar last week on career support. By the way, if anyone missed that webinar, please ensure you go through the recording. And it's also on CCCU on InUni CCCU Facebook page, so you can check it out. But are there any other programs you think, Richard, we should be highlighting here? I know hospitality, tourism also quite popular as well, and location is great for that too, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. We offer such a wide range of courses at Canterbury Christ Church. If you look in obviously Dagina's got the wonderful Canterbury Cathedral in her background. In my background, I've got Verena Holmes, which is our new £65 million building, which has doubled our teaching capacity on campus. Now, in Verena Holmes, you can study a wide range of courses with state-of-the-art, brand new facilities. So Dagina, obviously you mentioned things like data intelligence, cybersecurity. So in Verena Holmes, we deliver these courses in our computing labs. Sports science as well. We've got really modern state-of-the-art facilities for sports science in Verena Holmes. Psychology and clinical psychology is delivered in Verena Holmes. And we have many, many collaborative lecture theatres there as well. So it really does give students a chance to discuss, share ideas and work collaboratively as well. And finally, yeah, you mentioned the work placement idea. Fantastic opportunity, for all students to do a work placement. And, all of our courses really are written with industry in mind. So industry-led courses, which in turn allow you lots of networking opportunities with local professionals, local businesses, which I guess is one of the reasons why we achieved that #1 status in 2023 for graduates in work. So it's kind of difficult, I guess, to highlight individual courses, Dagina, because there are so many, but there's just a few courses delivered behind me in Verena Holmes.
Yeah, but if you're still maybe undecided or you kind of want to go down traditional route, go for programs like business related subject areas, whether it's bachelor's in business related subject areas, accounting. There's also a great program, information systems, which I think is quite relevant right now, or you want to apply for MBA or Masters in International Business. Those courses are available as well. And the university exercises flexibility, whether you are a fresh graduate or you have some work experience perhaps and you're more mature. So we can just look into your study gap, but it needs to be justified, of course, within your CV. So please ensure that you've highlighted what you have been doing once you have graduated, whether you've been studying, whether you've been working or preparing for IELTS or anything else. Then obviously we can then take your application from there. Global public health, I think, is one of the popular options as well, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm really happy that you mentioned those two courses as well. So MBA International, what a fantastic course that is. Studying with students from all over the world, such an interesting cohort and community you'll be part of. And then, of course, Global Public Health as well, another fascinating course, Law as well, we haven't mentioned, but both undergraduate.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Law.
How did we forget law? Yeah. LLB is popular in some of the regions specifically. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. Excellent.
And finally, should we mention nursing, Dagina, as well?
I was just about to say nursing is a huge one.
Extremely
Yeah,
popular. Yes,
nursing.
thank you. Yes, I know we've mentioned, because I saw there was a question raised earlier. So ideally, you should have applied by now for nursing by the end of June. However, so that was obviously the advice from and recommendation from the university, but you can still submit your application for nursing programs, but please ensure you've done it as soon as possible via UCAS. So nursing courses, you need to apply via UCAS only, and then you will just need to submit a blank application via GAS Gateway, just so that we can obviously make sure that it's all allocated to your educational agency, and we can monitor and track the application with the university. But other than that, obviously, as Richard mentioned, there is a wide variety of programs. We still have places available, and you can still apply for September 2025 intake. We haven't announced the deadlines yet. I know there was a question about deadlines, but the sooner you apply, the better, because we want to make sure that you have sufficient time to arrange any missing documents, to book accommodation. And if you already have application in the system, I know my team also speaks to relevant partners and students now to book those consultations. Please do not delay. The team is happy to support, arrange any additional mock sessions or webinars to support you with your consultation preparation, because ultimately not only consultation helps you to prepare for the university precast interview, but also we've noticed UKVI has started interviewing some applicants in various regions. So it's really, really important that you are well equipped with the knowledge you need to pass that interview, whether it's a course structure, whether it's accommodation questions, whether it's a financial side of things. So please ensure you do not delay booking your consultation with my team on the ground, or you can book it via our interview team link as well, but just ensure the students are prepared so that we don't have students failing that. All right, let's see which other questions we have. How many days does it take to provide CAS letter for MSc? So it's not specifically per program, but the sooner you submit your CAS documents, provided that you've obviously passed the interview, you've already paid your deposit, it's been allocated, etc. So if you submitted your CAS request, the university normally issues CASs within 5 to 10 working days. But if you are experiencing any delays, please do let us know so we can raise it with the relevant department to make sure that your CAS is issued as soon as possible. And please ensure that you've submitted all required documents for CAS, and your financial statements are still valid, because they're only valid for 1 month. So that's really, really important. And the same goes for your visa application. When you apply for a visa application, again, make sure that your financial statements are still valid. Okay, what could be the minimum per week accommodation with the campus? Okay, I guess they mean on campus and outside of campus. Well, I guess we can only advise for on-campus accommodation. What is the minimum cost per week, Daniela?
The minimum cost per week is 124 a week.
124 pounds. That's amazing value. So that's 480 roughly, just under 500 for a month. And that includes all the bills, right? There is no
that's right.
extra.
Yep, all the utilities, yes, it does.
That is wonderful. It's just mind-blowing, because when you think about accommodation costs in big cities like London, and I was a student myself in London, but that was a while ago. At the time, it was much cheaper. Right now, you're looking at spending at least 1,500 to 2,000 pounds easily per month. So you can see the difference. They haven't left the name here, whoever asked this question, but you can see the difference of 500 in Canterbury or 1,500 and higher in London. So 3 times cheaper, actually. Perfect. And if you go for private accommodation, if you prefer it, just bear in mind that normally private accommodation does not cover the bills. So you will have to pay bills on top of whichever rent you're paying for private accommodation. Okay, and also for on-campus accommodation, I guess depending on the accommodation type, there is also gym access included, right?
Yes, I mean all the accommodation will have the gym access, so they'll get free gym for the first 3 months. That does, I mean, yeah. So that's for the first 3 months, their first semester, that they can sign up for the free gym membership.
That saves a lot of money. Excellent, thank you. Do master students apply? Can master students apply for guaranteed accommodation, or is it only for undergraduate students?
No, they can. They can. It just depends on their actual course dates. So generally, with regards to some postgrads and master students, their courses can be longer. So you would need to then look at the contract length and probably then have a summer extension to be able to ensure that you're completing all of your modules and obviously being able to sit your exams. So you can, and we do tend to, where possible, we can't always guarantee it, but we do, as I mentioned, we've got our premises, some of our smaller location sites where we've got sort of 20 flats or 10 flats, we tend to, where possible, as I say, if we can put people together, because you're like-minded individuals and you're doing similar types of courses and lengths, and obviously, you know, the study time that you need, we do tend to try then not to put first years in with masters or postgrad students.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Daniella. Right. Is there any accommodation charge required before enrollment if we wish to make a booking?
When you initially make a booking, there's a prepayment of £115. So that basically enables you to have the accommodation offer. Once all your accommodation goes through and you've been accepted, that £115 goes towards your rent. So it's like a kind of, it's not a deposit because it's not held as a deposit, but it's held so that it's accountable for your rent, and it does go then towards your first rental payment.
Fantastic. And I understand that's refundable in case of visa implications.
Yes, it can. It really depends. I mean, with regards to visa application and things like that, it is looked into on a first. We have to review that information, and if it is down to you not applying soon enough and things like that. But generally, if it's generally delayed because, you know, the visa application is delayed for the amount of applications, then yes, we will refund it.
Or if visa is rejected. And I think it hasn't even increased from last year, because I think it was also £115 last year.
It's exactly the same. So it's
fantastic.
Yeah.
That's great. That's really good news. And I can see there is also a question about tuition fees. So for most of programs at CCCU, it's 15,500. They haven't increased tuition fees for September 2025. So it's the same as last year. In addition to that, you receive £1,500 scholarship, which means you're only paying £14,000 per year for bachelor's, and master's is only 1 year anyway. You start with £5,000 deposit for UG, integrated foundation or postgraduate programs, and then you pay remaining fees in 2 installments, unless you would like to pay in full, which is amazing. It may also help your visa application process, but you can potentially pay £4,500 prior to enrollment, so once you've secured your visa and before you fly out to the UK, and then the remaining £4,500 you pay before the next term, so after you've completed the first semester. The only program that requires full fee is International Foundation, which is a standalone program, but that's for students mainly whose English level is a bit lower, or academically perhaps they are not qualified for direct entry or integrated foundation. Okay. I'm a prospective MBA student. Could you please tell me what special support are offered for business students? I'm not sure if they mean in terms of accommodation, but I guess we are encouraging students, whichever course they're applying for, to submit their accommodation application as soon as possible, just to ensure they have sufficient time, they don't miss out on the accommodation options, especially if they are aiming to maybe save a little bit of money and to go for, you know, more affordable option, because that probably goes first. So yes, please ensure you've submitted your accommodation option at the soonest, sorry, accommodation application the soonest. Do our students, international students, receive any support to get their driving license? That's an interesting question.
It's a great question. Thank you, Paras, for that question. We do. We have a team of
Okay.
international student ambassadors who act as, advisors. They provide support to our international students. I actually heard a couple chatting the other day with an international student about getting a car, like a second-hand car in the UK. So we can help support with all aspects of your student journey and of your life here in Canterbury. Great question.
Fantastic. That's the first time I think we've had this question. That's really good to know. Thank you, Richard, because I didn't know about that. All right. And as international students, do they receive a discount on bus, trains, monthly passes?
There is, Daniela, isn't there? You can get like a student rail card, a student bus pass, so you can get
Yeah, I think it's
discounted
up to
travel.
30%, I think.
It is, yeah, it's great, isn't it?
Yeah, via stagecoach.
Yeah, buses, of
Excellent.
course, are a great way to get around Kent as well, Dagina. So, for any students that come here and they want to go and explore the area, it's very, very easy as well to take a bus or a train.
Fabulous. Excellent. How many campuses of CCCU are there in the UK? I know that for most of our programs, students go to the main campuses in Canterbury itself. And the great thing, I think, comparing to some other UK universities, they are not actually scattered or like in different towns. It's all within walking distance. So you actually save time and money. You just walk from one campus to the next one. But is there anything to add on how many campuses or facilities CCCU?
I think that's a really good point, Dagina, that you made. You don't have to get a bus to go to your lectures. You can walk everywhere. If you can imagine our main campus in Canterbury, it's like a little village within Canterbury. It's located right within the city centre. And yeah, you can think of it like a little community, a little village. And facilities are amazing, very clean, very modern. And one thing that always strikes me when I'm walking through the campus is like how happy and friendly all of the staff are. Everyone is always smiling, happy to help, and it just kind of puts you in a good mood as well. So
I know why. I know why they're happy, because they're never hungry. There's so many cafes in Canterbury. There's a lot of food around.
Yeah, and all of that soup you can buy as well, right? So you're never gonna
and coffee shops everywhere. So they're all,
yeah.
energized on coffee and foods and snacks and soup, lots of soup. Okay, amazing. Thank you. If a student stays 39 weeks, then during summer vacation, staying with CCCU accommodation, is it free? Can they actually stay there for summer? And how many weeks can they stay?
It's not for free. They can stay over the summer, but then it is, you have a separate, what you call as a summer extension contract. So it might be that you need an extra 4 weeks, 2 weeks, or you may need to stay for the whole 3 months throughout the summer until September. So we normally open that up in May, just before May, and ask whether you need a summer extension. So you're given lots of opportunity, should you know that your course is going to be going on, or that you haven't got anywhere to go and you want to stay in Canterbury over the summer, to be able to then extend your contract with us. So you do get lots of opportunity to, and that's not an additional fee. It's the same price as your current rental figure is. So we don't increase that for the summer extension.
Oh, fabulous. So they can decide later if they need this option. Perfect. Thank you. How do you help or expect international students to integrate into CCCU community? Very good question.
It's another fantastic. We've got some fantastic questions today, Dagina, right?
Yeah, so, absolutely. Yeah.
Brilliant question. So I already mentioned our international student ambassadors. These are international students who have been with us maybe for a year, maybe for 3 years, maybe even for longer. And they're really the experts because they have been through the student journey. They've come to live in Canterbury and they've studied or are studying at Canterbury Christ Church. They are on our global gateway, which is an area open every day where international students can come, sit down with a coffee, again, more coffee, and have a chat with our international student ambassadors about anything really, from logistics like how to open their IT account to things like driving, food, accommodation, anything really that they're worried about or they want to discuss. So I think our Global Gateway is a fantastic support to all of our international students. And I know we're running out of time, but very quickly as well, integrating into our community through sport and through societies is another fantastic way to make friends, to feel at home, and to feel part of the university.
Fabulous, thank you. And if you have some unique hobby, perhaps, I'm sure you can always bring it to Canterbury, and you can start your own CCCU community and find like-minded people, make some friends, which also helps you, your communication skills, but also not to miss home as much. I think some of the best friends you make is during your university years, isn't it?
Okay. Also, just to add on that, via the Res Life programme, which we've adopted in accommodation, we do take requests of things that people may want to do as workshops, or again, things that are important to them, their social skills or activities that they'd like to do. We do encourage that and kind of really value everyone's feedback. So we do concentrate that on that. So that's another way that we include all students together and help them within the community.
Perfect. Thank you so much. All right. Is there a special accommodation or recommendation for students studying masters in nursing? Or is it the same as for all other programs?
Is there a particular accommodation that would be better?
Yeah, is there a special accommodation or recommendation? Yep. Remind us, Richard, which campus is nursing being taught at?
I think it's split actually, Dagina, some in Canterbury and some in Medway as well, on our Medway campus.
Okay, so it depends, I guess, which campus you'll be actually studying.
If you're at Canterbury, generally we tend to have our nursing students at Petrus Court or Pin Hill as accommodations. And we do tend to, if you are a nursing student, as with other courses, we do tend to try and put you together. So again, it helps if you're on placements, or generally, just for general morale within your courses, that you're able to support each other because you're on the similar course. As I say, we do try, we can't always do that, but we do try where possible to put people that are on the same courses together in the same flats.
Perfect. Thank you so much. It's just because we've run out of time pretty much, and we have the next webinar with the team right now. Very, very quickly to go through a few questions. Do we know the price for the gym after 3 months? How much does it cost? And also accommodation, does it have to be paid in full, or is there a payment plan available?
With regards to the accommodation, you don't have to pay in full, you can pay in instalments. So that is normally per semester.
Fantastic.
So 3 months, so there is the option to do both.
Gym is £15 and I guess per month, sorry to interrupt. 15 per month for the gym.
Only £15? Wow, that's very cheap.
And it's 7 days a week, which is amazing.
Amazing. Yeah, you can get fit, I guess, very, very cheaply. Amazing. Right. Could you please let us know the deadline for booking accommodation?
Ideally, there isn't really a particular deadline, because we will take applications right up until September, and we will continue to do so. It's really more about availability. Obviously, the later you put in the application, the more chance are, one, that you won't get your first choice, but two, we may not be able to have the accommodation. So it is really paramount that you put in your application as soon as possible, so that you're in place to be able to actually get accommodation with us.
Yeah, definitely. And now that the visas are being issued very promptly, from what we see, within few days, sometimes even within few hours, which is amazing. The sooner you receive your visa, definitely go ahead and book your accommodation. But in case if you applied for your visa a little bit later, because maybe you submitted the application a bit later, like Daniela mentioned, you can still book your accommodation, provided you've received your unconditional offer letter from CCCU, you've got your CCCU student ID, and then you pay £115 to reserve your booking. And in case if any issues with your visa, that is refundable if you have your visa rejection. But hopefully you receive your visa and at least your accommodation is reserved for you, and that's the option you actually want to apply for. Perfect. Is it possible? Okay, I think it's the same question. How many months of rent we're required to pay in advance? And if it's possible to pay on a monthly basis? I think it's a similar question, like an installment plan. If they mean the on campus accommodation, I would assume.
I mean, generally within accommodation, our accounts team, if there is a particular payment plan that they are looking for, ID monthly, our accounts team will generally work with the students to actually find out the best financial option. Generally via the portal, it is either to pay per semester or upfront. You will have to, if you want to pay monthly, that will need to be something that is negotiated once you're basically in accommodation, that you reach out to accounts and say,
yeah,
you know, for whatever reason, I need to via work or other situations, can I pay monthly? And they will arrange that with you, because they'll need to change the payment installment plan.
But ideally, just to highlight to attendees and our partners, I guess, and students, students are supposed to provide proof that they have sufficient funds on their bank account for your CAS purposes and for your visa purposes. So you show it for 9 months at least. So when you arrive at the university, there should not really be any excuses as to why you cannot pay for your accommodation, ideally upfront, rather than, you know, going for the monthly installment plan. I think it would be better for everyone if it's just cleared straight away, so then there is no issue with you not being able to pay for some reason, or not being able to stay, and then you have to find another accommodation. So that just creates a lot of hassle for everyone. You are supposed to show the funds on your bank account. Like I said, for CAS, for visa purposes, you should have those funds available when you arrive in the UK. You need to make sure you pay your outstanding fees for your tuition, and you need to make sure that you pay for your accommodation as well, please. As simple as that. All right, guys, we've run out of time. For any further questions, please reach out to our team on the ground. As I mentioned, application portal is still open for new applications, so please submit them as soon as possible. Please ensure you submitted your missing documents as soon as possible, and book your accommodation. Please do not delay till last minute. We want to make sure that your students get through the admission process as soon as possible, get your CAS letter, and apply for your visa, and arrive, most importantly, in the UK on time to experience a bit of summer and to start your classes timely as well. Thank you so much. Stay tuned for more webinars to come, and we'll see you soon. Thank you so much, Daniela, and thank you, Richard.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.